Welcome to Studio Hockey.
Now that lockdown restrictions slowly get lifted in most parts of the world, hope returns. Our sport will be able to take back its place in our lives. But we have to be realistic. For a certain time, it will not be as it was. I have to believe, we will all be able to sit alongside each other or stand shoulder to shoulder, cheering for our clubs and teams in the near future once again. Face masks and social distancing will be temporary, but for now they are a fact of life. That doesn't mean we cannot celebrate the small victories in the meantime. A return to training, albeit with certain restrictions. But also some of our top competitions and major events are being rescheduled. Tokyo 2020 will be hosted, we hope, in the summer of 2021. The European Championship has been moved to June of 2021, a couple of weeks ahead of Tokyo. Our national associations are talking to their clubs about the best way for their country to resume or restart their domestic club leagues, the beating heart of hockey. And yes, the EHL, possibly the best thing that happened to hockey since, the Montreal Olympic Games in 1976 introduced hockey to artificial grass. The Euro Hockey League returns in October of 2020. So we invited Marijke Fleuren, President of the European Hockey Federation, to talk about how the current season, now on hold, will finish. What next season might bring us? What will happen to the integration of the women into the EHL? Can we expect some more of these great innovations, such as the self-pass the EHL brought us? But let's start with the all-important question, or questions. Why does the EHL exist, and does it have a future?
Okay. Now, thank you very much, Ernst, for asking me these questions. Maybe first it's good to explain what is exactly the relation between EHF and EHL, because a lot of people don't understand. Now, EHF is a governing body for hockey in Europe. We are a non-profit organization, and we are 50% shareholder in EHL. And the other shareholders are MediaPro from Spain and Southfield from Holland. Mm-hmm. And with the three of us, and under the guidance of Hans-Erik Tuit, we are trying to arrange and to do our best for Euro Hockey League. In our view, the Euro Hockey League is indeed as exciting as you described. Mm-hmm. And I think I've told you before that for me it's every time a pleasure to be in the environment of players, coaches, spectators during EHL, wherever in Europe, mm-hmm. because the excitement is everywhere. And as a board member, you are used to get critics and that kind of things. Yes, that's part of the job, so you have to be prepared and do your utmost. But in this area, you don't have to get comments. It's all excitement, and sometimes
we all love the EHL.
Yeah. How it started, it was 2005. I remember that Erik Treuniet, unfortunately, he's passed away now.
From ProSport.
Yeah, from ProSport. And Bert Spaak started the discussion about that the Euro Hockey deserved a more exciting competition, mm-hmm. because the matches started to be dull, not competitive enough. They also saw a lot of possibilities for branding, media coverage, and that kind of things. And all these things together brought a new concept. They started it, they get the honor. Mm-hmm. But they did it together with Maurits Hendrik, was an important player. He is the rule changing man, I think. Yeah. He is Dowier, Ander Bolhuis, Jons Hensel. A lot of people who were excited by playing international. It's something different than playing in your national league. Were coming together and saw a lot of possibilities. Mm-hmm. I came in, I think I was part of the discussion with especially these men, and I think I came in the board in 2009, two or 3 years later, and then reality was there. Huh? But I'm still very grateful to Bert Spaak that he started the idea, to Erik Treurny that he translated it to hockey.
Yeah.
The first time they gave a presentation in Lithuania in 2005. And in the end, what it's become now, it's different than they started because they had ideas about money unbelievable.
Yeah.
We are now at a platform, I would say, at a level that's the right level for the clubs, and that we can start to extend a little bit, and that's why the women came in. So the reason indeed was that the Champions League was already there, of course, in football, that some of these people thought, okay, that's possible for hockey, and this is the time. Yes, it started, and they understood very well that it's important to brand it also in the way they had in mind. So it must be excited, it must be full of energy, there must be new rules, and the slogan very soon was already hockey the best way ever presented. That was the EHL.
Yes.
And we started to understand that hockey was not only for the spectators in the stadium, but it needs to be also on television. And of course, that's now extended. It needs to be on all screens. And our biggest fans are indeed the youngest who are watching the EHL on their small. And it's
on the phones.
What happened since 15 years. But what is the same is that for the players itself, playing internationally and then with your club team is something very special. You don't want to miss it.
No, absolutely. If you see the ambitious players who are maybe just not good enough or don't have the possibilities or make other choices in life, and they don't get to play the international hockey with the national teams, for them, the EHL is the highest possible.
And then with your club, it's different. It's your friends. It's very nearby. And that's what we could see also in Barcelona, where we had a lot of first rounds, that it was for the team. It was so special to be away 4 or 5 days with your team and enjoying. And that's what sport has to bring you. Joy.
Absolutely. But what has the EHL, what has it brought to hockey? Except for the obvious, the excitement and the new rules and stuff like that. But why is EHL important in our hockey landscape? That it's still, what is its future also in our hockey landscape?
Yeah, actually, that's what you have to ask players. What it has added to hockey, and what I can see in all countries that. The ticket to EHL is maybe more important than becoming a champion, and that's of course.
But okay, it's important. Okay. It's important.
Yeah, but and that's also what you see with players moving from club to club. If a club plays EHL, that's an extra for a player.
You become very attractive.
Yeah. So for the players, it's exciting, and what it has brought an extra. I think that's what I think every time, an extra in everything. You meet more talentful players. You are abroad. You have time to practice things together, what you normally don't have to do. And of course, you are talking about it in between, but the new rules has brought hockey everything. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's for sure. And I was very much involved in that part. And it was very interesting to see that everything we were inventing was taken over by our age, of course. But there was always one word different. It was 20 seconds and they made 13 or 15 or something like that. And there you could see typically also the Dutch, attitude. Everything we were inventing, we would like to share. We were not important if we were the boss or they were the boss, doesn't matter. It was for hockey. I think till that time we had only exciting rule was maybe the interchange. If you compare it with football, then that's exciting. That you understand that you can in and out, but
no more offside and the interchange. That were the old interesting rule changes.
Offside was awful. Yeah, I remember that I was only playing on the middle line.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a last man as well, so I know very well the offside rule in my time.
I understand. You were on the middle line all the time.
Absolutely.
Very dangerous. Okay, but
what will it bring? Will it still bring extra for the future? Because we all know there is a lot of pressure on our club leagues, on the hockey calendar, international, on making hockey exciting. So all kinds of events and formats are being thought of and experiments. EHL has been here for over 10 years now, has a proven track record of adding to the game. But will it still have that strong position in the future?
I think so. I think EHL is a product. And a lot of other things needs to become a product. So, and that's what you have to deserve yourself. It must be something what's going on, and that's why we are doing our utmost to keep continuity in it. And of course, we are in danger. In danger is not the right word. We are attacked in a little way by the calendar. So we had to be realistic. When the Pro League was introduced, it was clear that we had to do something with the calendar. But what we simply did every time is going back to the start. What was the meaning of EHL? And who are the teams playing in? It's a top, but it's also development. And to give in a broader way excitement to more European countries. Because for them, the same as being in the Olympic cycle with your national team, it's important to be in one way or the other in the EHL circles.
Yeah.
Because that gives also a lot of exposure to your outside world. And I think we will keep that. Because I think, in a way, in my view, club hockey is maybe for a wider audience than the national hockey. If you ask, say, to Billy Bakker or to whatever player, to your son maybe also, if you have to make a choice, then it would be a difficult choice.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't be surprised, especially for the teams playing in the southern part of Holland, where clubs is very near to their heart. But yeah, it's for everybody. But I always have the feeling, so for Den Bosch and for Orange Red, it's the club that's the next family. That's for them. It would maybe they would answer me. Club hockey is maybe more important. Whoever knows. But we feel as EHL board an enormous responsibility to do it the utmost for all these players. And that's why when the Pro League started, we understood we have to change it. And we have to change the format, but we have to use the change also to bring something new, and that's the Women EHL.
Yeah.
Because we had to go back from 24 teams to 20 teams. We invented the format what gave place in the second part of the tournament for an extra 8 teams. And we were thinking we have to extend in that way.
Yeah.
And for me, as a woman, of course, it was always a very big wish to get a women EHL, because
the women had their regular European championships like they existed pre-EHL for the men.
European Cup, yeah.
The European Cup, and so what is going to be the real difference now for the women being included in the EHL family, other than branding and the name? What will really change for those women's teams?
I think the format will be the same in the beginning, because we think that in broader way that the level of the women is not that strong in Europe in club relation than in the men are. But so we start with the format. We started 3 years ago, I think, in the European Cup, and that has proven to be the most strongest format, because there even Den Bosch and Amsterdam play 2 matches who are tricky. And we have seen different results the last 3 years than all the years before, because we knew already who would be in the final.
Yeah.
So we start with that format, and then we will see if there's an appetite from the women also to widen it up.
Yeah.
So we want really feedback from the players, but it's such a pity that the first time we would start it, it is happening. But yeah.
It's a strange season. So let's come back to that one, because the current EHL season, we played a couple of games in first round. The next round would have been in Amsterdam with both men and women and youth teams as well, but that obviously fell victim to the coronavirus. The current status officially, if I look at the website and what I see in official press releases, is still on hold. So it hasn't been cancelled. What is the current situation of the current season of the EHL?
Okay. Now the current situation is it's on hold, but we have planned it for October now.
Okay.
14th till the 18th of October, and we are trying to go on with it, and we are still hopeful. And I will explain why we are hopeful, because we have started the tournament, and it's so silly not to finalize it. So that's why we are doing our utmost. But we also understand the situation of the moment. So we were thinking, what can we do to finalize it? So we have been thinking, and now we are working on a system. And I know at the moment there are conversations with this company to have a ticket system with a kind of a communication platform behind it. Okay. So if you are pre-registering for a ticket, you have to give some information about your address, where you're living, what is your age, that kind of things. And then the system automatically places you in the stadium on the right distance of each other.
Okay.
So in itself, the distancing is okay. But that's not enough. The system with the communication platform also asks you when you, the day of your ticket, are you okay? Are you healthy? Yeah. If you're not, please withdraw and we refund you immediately. Yeah. We will take care that there's an arrival time. So not everybody coming together. It's all customized, actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The drinks and the food in the stadium will be ordered by text and will be brought to you.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, that's good. You missed, of course, a lot of talk, but okay, that's a start.
Yeah.
So we think that on the spectator side, can solve a lot, but still we are an event. Yeah. So we are working hard, we're working very hard on the official side, and then I'm talking about city and government, to get a clear view what they call an event. Because we are not a national event with an exposure to whatever 40,000 spectators coming in. As the EHL is planned now, and of course we have to finance it, we think we can make it with the minimum loss we can bear, with 2,500 spectators a day. So not expected 6,000, which we think we can manage. Mm-hmm. But next to the spectators and the safety of the spectators, it starts with the players. Yeah. It must be allowed to have the contact sport, to play hockey. We must take care that they have special exit and income routes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, we have to do a lot of extra to keep the things safe. Yeah, and so we think we can manage everything, but of course we need a special permission. Huh?
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, I think it's realistic. If at that moment, it's now from now, I think 4 months. It's the end of September. Then we must know. It's possible to do it, but.
The idea is, if I summarize, the idea is that we're going to do the second round as normally would have been played at Easter. It's going to be played at the Amsterdam venue that was originally chosen for. Yeah. The only thing is that instead of more or less 6,000 people attending in the stadium, there will be 2,500 maximum. So that you have the social distancing in the stadium, and obviously the entrance and the exit of the flow of the people will be organized well. But other than that, we will have a men's and a women's tournament. Yeah. The full tournament as originally planned.
Yeah, but not without the juniors.
Without the juniors, that's what.
It's a big disappointment for them, but okay.
Yeah.
It is as it is. But I have to say, everything, it must be financially feasible. Eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, we have made already costs for the first round. We have already made costs for the second round. It's very critical what moment we can continue. We have to stop, because what we are doing now is the budget is nearly all putting back in the tournament every time. We have now a new branding. We have the website improved. We are trying to do our utmost to get the best performance for both on and off the field of play. And at a certain moment, we have to be careful that we are, that we are able to go on also the next years.
Absolutely. ABN AMRO will still be there as a sponsor.
Yeah, still looking for the sponsor. Yeah, it's unbelievable. We are very happy with ABN AMRO, of course, because they are really supportive. But also, they say, if we are not playing, then you don't get the full amount. Yeah, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
So the reason to go on now in October is financial. So if there's a chance, we have to do it. But especially for the players to finalize the tournament as it is. And sometimes I think it's possible that it will happen, but of course sometimes I'm also very somber and I think,
okay. A sports technical question then regarding this setup for the current EHL season, because the moment that we will play the second round of our current EHL season, the clubs will be already have started. Almost every country have started a new season. That means teams will have changed. What are the rules there? I can't imagine that you will be obliged to play with the team from last season, because some players will not be there anymore, will have moved back home, switched clubs.
That's true. Dus you cannot ask them that they are in exactly the same composition that they would have been. It's not logical. The only restriction what we bring on is if you have played in another team that's present at the EHL, then you are not allowed to play in your new team. Okay. So that's, I think, fair. You cannot play in one season for two clubs. That's a pity. But all other restrictions, I don't know. You can change the playing list. I don't know exactly. You can add some players. So that will be no problem. But only the double playing in the
will
team
not be allowed.
That is not. That's the only restriction, I think. Because for all of us it's important that we are flexible and to go on.
Will as an event it will be a big challenge on site to get the same atmosphere from 2,500 people in a 6,000 or 7,000 seated stadium, to get the same atmosphere and to get the same vibe that you would have during those top games. Are there some thoughts on that already, or how you're going to do that?
We don't dare to think about exactly, because we're still hoping it's going on. But I'm sure that this ticket system company also are thinking about that. There are some ideas how you can at least for the view can show that there are people sitting, whatever. I'm also 2,000. I've seen a lot of matches with 2,000 spectators. They were as exciting and noisy as others. So we will see. We will see. But for me, it's important we go on. It is feasible for all of us to go on and start next year the new format and to go on the year after. Because if you ask me, do you want to continue? Yes.
Yes. Good. We're happy. So also next season, what's going to change? Because this will always also have an effect on the next season EHL. Because the first round, at the time of a normal first round, we will be playing the second round of the current season. So what will be the effect for the next season, EHL?
Now there is not a first and a second round, because indeed there's one round, and we will play that with 12 teams.
Okay.
We cannot afford to have a week tournament. Next year will be very busy if everything's going on.
Yeah.
We have our Euros in June now, and the Pro League will be there now. Not to talk about the national competition, what's the most important of everything, of course.
Absolutely.
But our idea is that we are playing with 12 teams, and the 8 teams who are not playing will have their own tournament. That's the EHL Cup. But first, the 12-team tournament, that will be, I think 9 countries will be involved. Only the 3 top countries will have in their number one and two. That means that there are 6 others, who have only come with their number one. On the Wednesday, the first Wednesday, will the teams who have not a bye, what are the top ones of the first 4 ranked nations, will play a knockout round to determine who are the next 4 playing the next tournament. Okay. The ones who are out will play a ranking round, so they will all play 2 matches. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a little bit complicated to.
It is.
Yeah, but it has been published everywhere already. Yeah. Uh-huh. I can send it to you if you want to read it over. But we are happy at least that we have 12 teams involved instead of 8. We are happy that we have still widened up a little bit the participants, not only the top. It's not only about the top. In Europe, we are also always about development. And that can be an exciting tournament over 5 days. Mm-hmm. We have no idea, of course, now where and what, but that's it.
Okay, so but if I get it right, the 8 teams that cannot be involved now in this EHL for next season will be playing an EHL Cup. It's called. Yeah. But the only thing that they can win there is ranking points for their country, so that a country can keep 3 or 2 participants in this EHL. They don't have the possibility to join in the final phase and still be a contestant for the EHL title.
That's we are really very sorry, but that is this. But you say only ranking points. To gain ranking is important because there are some turnings possible. Germany is by far number 1. But the rest is moving, and also one place below between 5 and 6 and 6, 7 is very narrow. And the same is for the women. So these ranking points are not unimportant to gain.
No, I understand, but they are mostly important for the EHF, for the EHL, for the nations, and they are maybe less important for the clubs themselves. Because it could very well be that you play as a 3rd team from Belgium, for instance. Now you will play this year, but next year, maybe that you get the ranking points next year, but maybe yourself you won't be playing next year because you're not qualified. So
no, but it's good to mention that one of the ideas behind EHL have been from the beginning that it's also to improve club hockey in Europe. It is not only about the clubs themselves. The clubs together form the nation, and they can make the rest better. And maybe in Belgium, Holland, Spain, England, whatever, Germany, it's not that important. But especially to countries as, say, Ukraine, Belarus, to emphasize that they need to have 2 clubs involved, not only in the highest or the sub-highest, but in the whole chain of competitions. It's an enormous stimulus. And if I have a look to the club tournaments, especially for the men, it's huge. It's I think 40 teams are involved. No, more than 40, because in EHL, normally 20. And then we have still challenge 3, 4. It's impressive what's happening. And there are hardly withdrawals. This is fantastic to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so it will be a strange season next year with just 1 round for the EHL, where 12 teams will play for the title. 8 teams will be playing for the ranking points for their nations for the EHL Cup. Will they get a cup? The winner of this EHL Cup?
For sure, we will make something exciting.
Okay, yeah.
I understand the disappointment, so we will make the best of it.
I can imagine that.
And it was interesting to see in my own board, EHF board, that especially the members who had played themselves internationally, like Simon Mason, for example, he said immediately, fantastic to play internationally with your team. It's so fantastic. We have to do it.
So, but that EHL Cup will be played at the same time and at the same venue as the rest?
Not the same venue.
Not the same venue.
They will get their own venue.
Okay.
But I say never, never. For example, I was thinking if the ladies of Den Bosch are in the EHL women, and as it is now, I think also if we have an October round, then also the men of Den Bosch are in. If we have no October round, I think Den Bosch is number 3.
Yeah,
they would play the cup. So maybe there's a possibility. I'm thinking now. Then we combine it.
Okay, the cup with the women's EHL.
Yeah, and then with everything.
Oh, with everything. Okay, yeah.
No, the women and the men are together.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, you can if they are able to give place to everybody. I don't know. But in principle, men and women EHL together with the juniors and with all the things around, and the EHL Cup is separate.
Could be a separate venue then.
Yeah.
Okay, good. The EHL was also one of the first events where women umpires were asked to referee a men's game. How far along are we along the path? Because I know that is an important subject for you, the equally amazing hashtag from EHF, but also internationally and globally, the equal opportunity for women to play the sports at their level, at the top level. But how far along are we, for instance, in the part of officials, where we don't make the distinction anymore between a male and a female umpire, and there's just one pool of umpires mixed, where we pick from the best for every tournament. Yeah. Is that something that we are striving to, working on?
It's really a journey we have started, yeah. Yeah, and of course it's very important that the level is the best. But if the level is the best, then we don't make any distinction. And what I can see also listening to the men and women umpires, they are excited about it because they understand that they also gain new skills. We are also doing it in the Pro League now, internationally, and the men umpires, when they are umpiring a women match, are always surprised that there's so much happening in the D. Huh? It's very detailed play. So if they already have their view to the goal, the other end, they are still there. And the other way around with the women, they need to be prepared that it's so fast and so skillful that they need to prepare differently. So I think you improve both if you're doing that. But the most important thing of this whole equally amazing part is that for me you are only credible if you do it everywhere in the game. And that also everyone, men and women, are behind it. It's nothing about men against women, that kind of things. I believe strongly in that everything will be better if we do it together. And it's on the field of play, but also off the field of play. And I think we are really trying with EHL, whatever we do, to share the responsibilities. Yeah, and that's. I'm very happy that I'm the president of Europe, that I can stimulate and activate, and every time again with everything what we are doing, because I really believe that it has to change.
If I can make a little jump to the side now from our topics here, because we're only talking about EHL at the moment, but you're also involved in FIH and in IOC, and they're also in strongly defending the equal opportunities for the women in sports. Do you see a lot of steps in the right direction outside of Europe in these matters as well?
Yeah, outside of Europe now, in Oceania, that's Anglo-Saxon countries and Nordic countries are much more aware than we are. Actually, also in Holland, there's a lot to do still. Indeed, I really believe there's a lot to do, and it's especially about the awareness. You have to show that there is a big difference still, and that's why it's so important. This what we are doing now, but also all the television, where give women a platform. We've seen it with women football in Holland.
Yeah.
They have deserved their platform themselves, and now they are there. And now they have full stadiums, and now their wages are going up. And so you have to start somewhere. But the portrayal, right? The portrayal in word and in pictures are so enormously important. And if you think about it, what is the situation at the moment? It's really a difference. So internationally, I'm now trying this whole COVID-19 period to use also that when we come out of it, that we give special attention to the women also to get a chance, and not, I think somewhere I just read that the women competition stopped. What club was it? I think it was in England. Yeah, I think it was the Premier League. Because there's a lack of money, and you have to make a choice. And so I'm very much interested in the portrayal rights and the portrayal of women and men and the differences. And I just heard yesterday, so that's a topic that I'm reinstalled in the IOC committee.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. That every year is so I'm very happy about it, because for me it's an inspiring committee, and because we are doing the job, we can give role models and examples to them how we are trying to implement it.
Yeah, but in all honesty, I think that, and obviously there's still a lot to do in our countries here, in Belgium, in Holland, in England, in Spain, in France, in Germany. But we consider ourselves already a little bit advanced in these matters. Though there's still a lot to do, I'm sure, and I'm the typical example of a middle-aged old white man with all the problems that exist in that category. But there are a lot of parts in the world where hockey is important.
Yeah.
That the situation is still a lot worse. Is maybe not the right description, but maybe yes. Yeah. Do you really see the big steps being made in other parts of the world, such as Asia, such as South America, such as Africa?
I think everybody recognizes that club hockey is a fantastic form for hockey. But we also have to realize that in Europe, we are, especially in Holland and Belgium, we are living very nearby each other. So then you really can have a club competition. That's not that easy everywhere, and the culture is differently. But I think to mention Dr. Batra from the FIH, he is very impressed by club hockey, and he would do not more than to get that also into India. And it's just not feasible. I think it's the distances between, but also the culture is differently.
Mm-hmm. I believe otherwise. But let's not go into that. But what I really meant was also, do you see really advanced steps being made into the promotion of female sports in those countries?
Female sports. Now, I think, for example, if you're talking, I think that Stuart Marine is doing in India a great job. Because he understands as no one else that it's not only about playing hockey, he also gives them self-confidence. And I'm really very grateful to him that he is doing that, because that's all about. Women have to stand up, so need to be sure about themselves. Elena Norman, she's the CEO over there. She is in my international committee from EHL. So there we have also Women in Sport Commission. And I'm impressed because I have with Nation from Kenya, and with Philip from Guatemala, and we have a lady from England and a lady from Oceania. We are the committee, Scott Tupper from the athletes. Trying to widen up the world of what you are meaning of female hockey in the world. Mm-hmm. And I'm surprised there are indeed possibilities. And this webinar time and really helpful. because now we suddenly see each other, we talk with each other, because traveling is always too expensive.
Yeah.
And we are now thinking about all kind of things we can do also with the women in the countries. But I'm also realistic. It's a hell of a job, because of the women themselves. It's so difficult for them. And I don't know why, but it's true, to be self-confident often and to do it. And I'm so happy with women as, say, Sophie Geerts. She's just doing it, and she is telling it. And you're not always everybody's friend. I'm also not everybody's friend. It's a pity, but I really believe in it. And around me, there are a lot of people who really believe in it. Anna Truijens, Rotterdam, now whatever names I can mention. So it's not an easy job to get it everywhere in the world, but I think we are working on it, and at least there is interest for it. It would be my wish to do it without quota, just to make awareness and to emphasize and to inspire people to make a difference.
Okay, going back to EHL, the one thing, other than being exciting and bringing hockey to in a different way to our screens, the EHL is really known for its innovation. The new rules that it brought, not every rule stuck. Thank God the own goal was quickly abandoned again. But a lot of them. A lot of the new exciting rules that we've seen, with obviously the biggest example being the self-pass, came from EHL and the minds behind EHL. Will there in a few, because obviously not every year we can think of the next big thing, and I think it's also very important in rules in sports that sometimes you need to create a time of continuity and make the game recognizable for everybody who's playing it, so that rules need to stay the same for a certain while. But will there be new and exciting innovation in rules in the coming years?
That's where we really have to work on. The exciting new things now is coming with the women EHL, introducing mixed couples, officials and umpires. That's not exciting as a rule, but it's a new approach. But for sure, we need to reinstall a kind of a fresh thinker. So I think what we can improve. What we did last was the goal, stroke penalty goal, and the field goal, and then all the counting. It has given some advantage to people, but it was not well accepted. We did all kind of surveys, and then we stopped. It's the same with the own goal. And I think that as an example that we are not improving to improve, not changing before the change itself. That's what I mean. Yeah. We only when it works. I think we will continue with that. And I think I think 2 years ago I talked to Maurits Hendricks, and he was too busy at that moment with NOC. But for sure we will start a group again with the new highlights in hockey, in a fresh group, and to see what we can bring in. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, thanks very much for your time, Marijke, to discuss EHL with us on our podcast. We hope that we can get the good news very fast about the certainty for the current season to be finished up in October in Amsterdam. And that it will be an exciting format, even if there will be restrictions because of the new facts of life that we are living here. But it's very encouraging to hear that EHL is still alive and kicking.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for giving me the time.
Thanks, Marijke. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Studio Hockey. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. And as always, enjoy your hockey. Bye-bye.